Last episode, we became the biggest traitor in football, trading Stoke for our tour to become the world's best manager. That's right, in our hunt for 5 trophies, one of every major European league, our journey begins in Germany to fight for the Bundesliga. Yes, people, first division of Germany, our first top division. Flex is talking about us joining Gladbach. That's right, a team that you might not think are going to be an overall great, but we are tasked at making one. This is the team that we now are in charge of. We've jumped up from Barrow in the National League, winning that. We saved Stoke from relegation. Unfortunately failed in getting playoffs, leading to a fan attack on us because they thought we'd do better, and we have kind of jumped ship, but our first job in the top flight is here with Gladbach, a team I don't think I've ever managed. Look at the players they've got. Oh my days, they've robbed Everton. O'Brien and Mikolenko as the fullbacks. We've got a regen Mendes, or Noon Mensch, might be Mensch, 20-year-old, a regen keeper as well. Mahoya, Hack. This team is good. In the first team, Yankuto, Reitz, Rayner, Kastrop. I'm very excited to move to Germany. And before we get cooking, if you are enjoying this Journeyman, now 3rd club, 4 seasons deep, make sure you subscribe. We're on the race to 10k, and we are trying to hit that as early as possible. Rocco rates is our best player, our captain. I know he can be a regen sometimes, do like the look of him. Then it's Yankuto. Our formation doesn't have fullbacks because it's Mendes, O'Brien, Buzayen. We've got too many fullbacks, in fact. And could that make us money? Maybe we get a budget for the first time over 10 mil. To try and kick on with the team, we've got 31 million. We're still in sterling, not euros, and we're expected to qualify for European competition, reach the round of 16 stage, I can't speak, of the DFB Pokal. This is all very exciting, but we can't forget the cut-off of Danny Rose, our assistant manager. We've been coming as a pair, and he said he wouldn't join me in Germany because, like I said, a lot of fans skeptical of my movement over to here. We've got to prove ourselves in world football now, because not only Stoke fans trying to fight us, but a lot of European fans actually writing us off, saying we have took a step too far and we can definitely get sacked in this save. So we need to get some coaches in. Growing our coaching team. We have got a lot of German players. We've got Joseph Davidson from England. So we have brought an English friend across. However, assistant manager. I've got 2 players in mind if they're still not playing. The first one, Marco Reus. He's not actually playing anymore. Do we give him a shot? Like we got a shot in management. I need an assistant who's probably going to join me. Don't forget, I've only got 1 trophy at Barrow. I'm not really experienced. I have jumped too quickly. And I'm going to speak to this man, bringing him back to Germany. He went over to the MLS. Thomas Müller, I understand your English is good. I understand you want to get started with coaching. How's about you join me as a coach at Gladbach? I'm inexperienced, yes, at this level. I've never been in a top flight before, but I know you're inexperienced also. Why don't we just try and take football by storm and get coaching? And he says he doesn't really like the idea of coaching with an English staff member, as he thinks I'm going to run back over to England at the end of the day. But then he does speak on Harry Kane, and now we linked up with him, so he agrees to become my assistant. We've gone from Danny Rose to Thomas Müller, and that is why I left a gap with the attacking coaches. Although Danny Rose was actually 5-star, he's got a few stars in the midfield as Thomas Müller, and he can also coach defending well. A true all-rounder. As back to the budget. Now, back to the tactics. I definitely don't think we'll be playing this Ruben Amorim R formation. I was brought into this team for a reason, and I think we're getting stuck with the philosophy of playing this shape, the 4-1-3-2, which many teams don't do. I think that's why we're standing out in football, and in Germany, I do see it as, no offense any German fans out there, but a bit of a slower game compared to the Premier League. And I was getting prepped for the Premier League with Stoke before we failed to get promoted, so I'm going to go a high line. I do not want to fail on my ambitions here. I think Stoke will let ourselves down a little bit. We could have done a lot better. And we're going to do the shape we did before with an advanced forward and a false 9, which was Cisse. Used to always try and score the goals, but it shows you the positions we definitely need to work upon. First of all, Mensch has got to come into our starting 11. He's got 3 playstyle styles as well. We've moved very far on from the days of more. I do want to stick with some Germans in this team, obviously, being in Germany, so we're going to try and cause a core spine. We definitely need a striker with Ranos, Kvankara, Machino, and Kleinheist. Fukuda and Erbic probably not being in my plans at all. I don't mind replacing them all. And changing positions. If these players want to play under me, I know it's going to take a while for Jens Kasdorp, but we need to play what I want to play right here. I'm taking no prisoners, same as this guy. I never noticed him. Wael Mohoya. He should be coached perfectly by Thomas Müller. Although a few players actually saying they do not agree with me coming in as manager and want to leave. This happened before we arrived at Stoke City. Right, so players out. And let's have a look who these are. The first one, Nacho Perez. He goes to Holstein Kiel, still staying in the Bundesliga. I believe so anyway. On my days I saw Kaiserslautern and them three teams right there thinking we'd actually got relegated. No, I really want to see who we start with, to be fair. It's going to be Korn. Okay, on the 25th of August. Plenty of time to get players ahead of the big game, and we've sold a player to Liverpool. This is a first. We sold Cisse to Brentford, and now we're in a bigger ballpark. Franco Rosano, who I believe was a left-back, goes, same as Nathan Ungamowu. Thomas Kvankara goes to Wrexham in their big bid to push for the Prem. And this one is one that could hurt. I've just got him training elsewhere. Obviously didn't like that idea and goes to a league rival, Jens Kasdorp. As you can see, he's actually hitting out online saying he didn't approve of the board's decision to go and get the English manager from the second division. Hey, if someone doesn't like me, they don't like me. I haven't even got a chance to coach him. I'll speak with Müller and get my own players in. The next out is Mikolenko. Then we've got Javi Miranda. This one I actually loaned myself to Porto. Youth is something we can look into, because now we've got a coach in Germany. My new scout, Kevin Walter, has to go to Germany also. 5-star judgment on him, and I'm probably going to have him searching for a wide man. Maybe a cam as well. Musiala, Wirtz, one of them kind of players. Luka Kunz. He looks brilliant. I'm going to promote the 17-year-old. Hopefully play him as another player going to now the Premier League team we faced last season and didn't lose to. Frank Honorat leaves us with a whopping 99 million, biggest budget we might see for a while. The aim is definitely not to get sacked here, because now I feel like season 4, as a manager, we have truly leveled up, hitting a top flight with big budgets. The 4 seasons before this were a bit of a drag, and we do have a decent scouting network, plus Thomas Müller, and I am going to look in the division below, potentially for a striker. Noel Futkeu, I've used him before, still now he's 26. Them first few seasons of being in the lower leagues has cost us potential on some potential players we could have signed earlier, but I'm thinking about German players in the lower divisions. What if there's German players in England I can bring across where I've just come from? We coached Lanin Kurda, but I still unfortunately don't think he's good enough to step in over here. So I've got a short list of 4 players. You can see I'm being optimistic with one of them, and that is not the Bayern lad, Armindo Siep. Let's be honest, we need more than a striker, but got to get into Europe, and because we're moving clubs, age isn't the worst thing after all, because we can leave these players behind who made an old squad at Stoke. I don't want to go too old, but King Kai Havertz, he has experience at actually winning over in the international competitions like the Champions League, and he must be for sale because Celta Vigo had a bid rejected. 35 million. You always need a talisman. We've had to step it up to 37.6. But Thomas Muller's probably had a chat, known how good this German international is, and this is by far the biggest signing we've made in this Journeyman. What an absolutely peak addition that is alongside Kleinheist. The only issue is I'd say they're built a little bit similar. We need some pace. Defense does look okay. Sander, not really too trusting. He's not even a centre-back, which I didn't realise. Elvedi probably steps over. We've got an 80 rated Buzain on the bench. We've got Charola. It's a really good team when you get down to it. We've got Nathan Wood we can trust. A fellow Englishman. 2 strikers on the the bench, a winger, a centre mid, Wood, Bazaye, plenty of decent reserves as well. We'll have to call upon them all. We are now a top division side, in need of a big squad. New house I was thinking about replacing in the midfield. Then again, if we really wanted to, we could swap Reina, tell him to be a centre mid, and get Hack in. We just need one striker now. I obviously want to save some money for January if we're struggling, or if we just need another addition. So let's look, maybe not just German, and maybe to the league that gave us luck. Don't forget about Teresa, the Brazilian we carried through when we signed him for Stoke. Come on. Ricky J. Joney's out there. João Bom, he's not pacey. And I'm looking for a pacey player. Nathan Fernandez. Maybe I'm just tempted because he's in black and white, like Grimsby and like Gladbach. 4-star skill moves. Brazilian's only 24. He does lack a few play styles. But it's the perfect signing just to complement the budget by not taking it all up and giving us another striker, as we've signed a new strike force and a striking assistant. And almost a full year of playing career mode, never seen the Bundesliga graphics. We are up against it. We always will be, because we're an English manager taken to Germany. We've been backed as well, so we've spent a pretty penny, almost over 50 million. We've got Thomas Müller, an inexperienced assistant coach. It's all set up for failure. And overall, Gladbach's took a big gamble on me, probably being the cheaper option, to go and grab from Stoke. And again, I have saved a club and I've won a trophy before. Granted, it's a non-professional one, but they want us to do it again. And Kai Havertz, man, I cannot believe we've managed to sign him. He's playing the false 9 role with the number 9 on his back. He just needs to play it well as well. And Mensch, he's going to be a big part of this save. What a regen player he looks. If we can take him from club to club, if we can improve, of course, we need to start improving here and improve Gladbach. That is the reason they have brought us in. Kai Havertz, 40 minutes into his player debut. That is why we paid Arsenal the money for the aging player. He's aged back over here. Back to the Bundesliga, where it all began as him as a central midfielder. He's now a striker still, but a bit further back, and that is a well-driven goal. Hoyer as well with the assist. Don't forget we've got another striker up front. Kleinheist is on the bench. Probably fans will look at that and think that's strange because he's been here a while. We need to get played a little bit more though. I know it was just a bit of a counter goal. And we are away from home, but I do want to keep a bit of possession here. Fernandez goes back to try and get it forward. If we're onside there, Reina, that is brilliant work from Kai Havertz. Just getting the header down. And to say we've only been coaching 4 seasons, we've coached some pretty decent American ones. We signed De Jesus for Stoke. We coached Aronson and now Reina. We just need to make sure we get the best out of this one we've got here. And that's good passing. Nathan Fernandez, the man we've just signed from the Brazilian league, which is our shortcut to good players. Jurgensen playing for them as well. What a brilliant goalkeeper they've got in between their sticks as Big Jim O'Brien. He's headed it over the bar for a potential second. Still, win the first game is all we've got to do. We've got a job of turning the fans on our side, proving all them Stoke City fans wrong and getting an actual result by making ourselves a decent manager. Mahoya got the assist. He's another really good potential player looking for King Kai. And they've got Philipp Jurgensen in goal, who can definitely be decent. We're approaching the end of the game, though, and Thielmann through the middle. Mensch. Not Mensch, but I'm going to call him that because he is the new version. Big save by the goalkeeper Nicholas, and Big Jim is happy with that. I think, like the assistant manager Thomas Müller, Jim O'Brien's going to be a player I go to a lot for a bit of advice, being the English speaker. And Nathan Wood on the bench, but Van der Berg around the corner. Hussein Barsic, just signed him in a previous rebuild with 10 added minutes. They've made a lot of subs, obviously chasing the game, but we haven't made many. Here goes Hack. Hacking it down the wing. Kai Havertz, we put him in as the false 9, and then he sets up Reina, who is onside this time, to grab us our first win as a Bundesliga manager. And after that, I'm going to try and calm it down in the press, obviously, because everybody is against us. And I'm going to go with this notion of us against the world. It's about what Thomas Tuchel kind of did and Jose Mourinho, the good manager of the past. It's always been linked. They try and put the pressure on the other team by saying everybody is against themselves. Managerial tactic, even though we should have had an equal team to the team we've just played. We've got to try and act as underdogs, especially with the big dogs, Bayern Munich, etc. in this division. Where is Jim O'Brien? He's ready for the centre-back change. You know what? Now he's 83 rated. Oh, we could do it, but I think it would be a bit too controversial of me to actually make him the captain. I think it's a bit premature. But the games aren't getting premature. I'm going to sim Kaiserslautern to get onto the away fixture. And this is where I can make or break the plaudits. This is where we earn the money. Into the Lion's Den. It's like England going to the Azteca. I'm going to bring that game up a lot. The Allianz Arena, Bayern Munich. It doesn't get a bigger game than these away from home. And if we can manage to beat them, not only do I think I've got the fans on my side, I think I've got everybody on my side thinking we can do something special. That's what we're aiming for. Thomas Müller coming back home. They've got Federico, DiMarco, Musiala. Who did I just see up front? Definitely wasn't Harry Kane. Kai Havertz with a decent touch on the ball. We've got to chase maybe down these wings where the older players are. Elise though, man. It's Mikel Oyarzabal up front. That's a good tackle by Alvedi. Straight on to Gio Reyna. Look at the pace of Bayern Munich. Right, we'll have to go back. Fit that through the gap. Oh my days, Nathan Fernandez. Almost poking it through. And Elise, Michael Elise running down the wing. It's a good tackle by Mensch. He's really going to be the star, hopefully, in this save for us. I've said it before. I've said it again. He's defended well on 2 occasions. I think that's Simikan at the near post. Brilliant catch by Nicholas. Trusting the goalie and trusting to spring when we get the chance. We are playing with this high line. Robin Hack. Is that handball by Coyote? Nothing given, so we'll recycle. Robin Wright, the captain, goes for a screamer. And it wasn't far off, you know. Just let him cut inside. Don't let him do what Wright did. That's a brilliant tackle from Jan Couto playing at right back. Gio Reyna. Nathan Fernandez made the run forward. We'll go backwards into Wright. He's got a really good killer pass through the middle. We've got good passing. Hack. Oh, he's crossed the wrong player. If that hits King Kai, I think it's a goal as Kai Havertz finds a little bit of a gap. Uses the run as a decoy. Chip that over the top. Go in the header. Kai Havertz. He does beat Urbig to the ball. It's 1-0 Gladbach. I told you this is the game. We need to prove ourselves. What a signing Kai Havertz has been. We're celebrating on the sidelines. I do want to see a replay of that magnificent goal with Gio Reyna and Kai Havertz getting a bit of a link-up going. Jumps above Jonathan Tah. Urbig looks like maybe he was coming to punch. I don't know. Yes, he was trying to punch and it's bottom corner planted. This is it now. This is the spring into life that we needed. They've gone and signed Saibari. The real life signature actually classed here. That's not a tackle by Moya that's affecting anything. Don't turn into a corrupt referee from the FIFA World Cup. Saibari cutting inside. Here goes the Moroccan, Jamal Musiala around the corner. We've tried to slide. That is a beautiful footing from Mensch. And now they're going to just keep running at us. It's in the middle. Oyarzabal, look at the defending display we've got on lock here. Last minute corner, lads. Simikan, block the ball with every ounce of dedication in your body. That's gone backwards, referee. Blow the whistle. Mikel Elise, he's dummied it. Saibari, get rid of the ball. Gio Reyna to do so. There's the captain celebrating. And there is the pressure firmly off of us. Now who's doubting? I feel like I should be shushing, well, some of my old fans over at Stoke, because we've come to the Bundesliga with a bang. And then I've gone and simulated a few games because obviously we want to get cooking. We want to make sure we can keep climbing up. We beat Dortmund, we beat Kiel, lost to Frankfurt, but a 5-0 win away at Osnabrück in the cup is beautiful. And that is hopefully setting up another cup game with Augsburg. On the 5th of December, only one defeat as well, by the way, so far. We sit top of the Bundesliga after being, what, 10th? In the championship? The Barrow mentality. It doesn't matter if it was a non-league. We still won it. And we still have that mentality. Gladbach, here we go. Dortmund are still in the cup. Same as Bayern. And Thomas Muller's going to come and speak to me. Saying from his experience, if Dortmund and Bayern get knocked out in the Pokal, there's a huge chance for a trophy. He's not saying forget about winning the Bundesliga this season, but do not undervalue a trophy for this historic club. And that's exactly why I'm not going to do that. And is it just me? I've never seen the stadium before, but I've seen it a few times in these graphics. What a stadium. The Mönchengladbach one does look. Just looks compact, really like club friendly, like it is kind of generic like St. Mary's, for example, but it just has that feeling to it where the fans are up for it. They're definitely up for this cup game. I definitely feel supported. We've got Fleck and Mahoya going over to the left-hand side right now. We've made some changes. Nathan Wood's playing in the defence, so it is a British defence at the moment, hoping to keep Augsburg out where Thomas Tuchel started his career. England play later on tonight against Norway. Hopefully a good sign, and we are testing Darman. There goes Dong. What a funny name, as we need to get a tackling right here, like I said. Or Thomas Müller said, I'm not going to put this cup competition down despite a few changes. Fleck is a decent reserve. And there's Kai Havertz still in the team. Into Machio. Just not sticking for us so far. But I'm hoping it's going to stick very soon with no changes to be made. I know he's 30 and I know Kleinhast is older, but I am going to run Kai Havertz into the ground. What a player he's been since he came here. Making everything tick, and if he's in the box for a header here, Mahoya finds him. Look at the determination. Unfortunate, broke his back on them advertising boards. Cade, we need to be in the back of him. That's a foul to us, maybe offside. Maybe I try something special here. Here goes Fleck. Not far off at all, but still we're going to play football. It is Ninehouse looking forward. Machino's not been too good. What if we do go with 2 target men? I didn't ask you to stop pressing though, lads. Press. Press. We are playing with the pressing tactic. Belgium tried to play, should I say press Spain last night. I can't think of the teams. That is a brilliant save by Nicholas. And does that take us to a replay? Does that take us to extra time? Okay, extra time. First time seeing this in a game. I like it. Unfortunately, it isn't good for our players. We've still got some older ones in, and they're showing. Villa robbing the ball straight away. Augsburg looking to win this game. What a tackle as well, by the way, from the Algerian right back playing at left back. Kai Havertz. Oh, I thought he'd just out-strengthened him. Hadley approached him. Borja Mayoral. Where has he been coming onto the field? What a throwback signing that is. And the West Ham save we did quite a while ago. That miss from Kleinheist leads to a penalty shootout. Kai Havertz, don't stutter. He still scores. I hate the stutter penalty. Borja Mayoral, come on. I've just hyped him up. And, oh, down the middle. This is pressure. Hopefully, as a manager, we don't crumble. We've got our takers lined up. Kleinhast, good substitution. The experienced man scores his pen. Now it's going to be Ryder. We need to... Oh, they've got down the middle twice. We needed to save that. I'm tempted to copy, but I am going to... Oh, plant it in the top corner. Fleck is a very good player despite being a youngster. Look at me shaking for that side. He's going to go to that side. So close again to saving. Buzain. I am going to keep on going with the side that's working, the right-hand side. How did none of these players actually score in game and go for such a good penalty shootout? Is it going to be a third time down the middle? No, because Claude Maurice misses, leaving Jan Kunto, a right-back / a forward player, to score the penalty. Give us a brilliant career start here at Mönchengladbach. First penalty win. First win against the huge juggernaut in Bayern Munich. And it doesn't show any signs of slowing.